This may sound familiar, the doom loop of stagnation. Have you ever had the experience where leadership wants us to start a project and we get sent back to the starting line because this project was already done before? We end up losing months and momentum can die. When the momentum dies, the front line can disengage and then nothing changes. So we don't get the data we need. So the translation never happens between leadership and the front lines. And then we give leadership data and information from this project that just went nowhere because the front line disengaged and they don't get what they need. And then lo and behold, they send us back to start over again. And I've been a part of initiatives where we restarted and restarted. And for years, what we were trying to fix actually never got fixed. And that loop can be broken with very strategic learning. What do we need to learn? What do we already know? And what do we forget that we often need to learn? And then how do we analyze that without getting into analysis paralysis and then begin to move forward with innovation? So this is that gap between the leadership intent and the frontline reality that I was mentioning. Because what we're trying to get to is not this loop of stagnation, but what we're trying to get to is lasting change, which requires a recognition that we're working within a system and that we're putting people to work in a system that's been created over years with multiple decisions for very good reasons over the decades. We need to be aligned, have trust between those two, between the leadership intent and the front line, and then have insight that is shared amongst all parties. That's what we're trying to get to. But in the middle, between the leadership intent and the frontline reality, is history of miscommunications leading to confusion, resistance or what is perceived as resistance from the front lines, fear, someone gets their hand slapped, or someone actually does speak up and then gets hazed or bullied by their colleagues because they spoke up, competition, hierarchy, ambiguity, and silos. All of that together and all of the other things that we could list is what I refer to as the messy middle. And we are never going to get to lasting change unless someone wades into that messy middle, is willing to get their hands a little dirty, and understands each of those components that's holding us apart, and then translates each of those components, both so that the leadership can hear it and they get decision grade information, and the front line can hear it and then both can align. Those are two different languages, and it requires a whole lot of understanding and relationships on both sides. And I believe that it's only the quality improvement professionals that can actually wade into this messy middle and then create a strand. So we've got a cord coming from the leadership, another from the front line. But if we're going to braid something that becomes lasting change, we actually have to create that third strand out of that messy middle. And that's what the quality improvement professional's role is, in my perspective. And that's what the quality improvement operating system is designed